Hello! Helps if you unmute. Hello, 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 and transition effectively. How are you all this fine Monday evening? I hope you're fine. Welcome, welcome to another Stadia Monday night chat with me, your host, Clive Illenden, aka if you haven't checked out my Lord Kensal of Stadia YouTube channel where I do live streams and now added a few highlight videos from those live streams. If you don't want to sit through 4 hours of game stream, then check it out. Lord Kensal of Stadia. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun playing on there. I have a lot of fun, and hopefully the people who watch have a lot of fun as well. Can't say I'm amazing. I see we're not getting any chat in the box, so I'm just going to take that off. Take that off. Can't be bothered to take that off. There we go. Right. Still got the border there, haven't we? Take that off as well. Right, there we go. Everybody can just read the chat in the chat. Time does indeed fly there. How are we all doing? What up, Mr. Stone? How are you? The Rock? Not The Rock, Rock. Jerome, Stefan, always lovely to see you here. David, of course. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm glad you could all join us today. Yes, and just getting texts coming in left, right, and centre. Let me know what you've been playing, what games have been taking up your time this week. Put it in the chat. Share your love. Let's share out what's been going on. It's always useful to know. Episode 13 already. Exactly 13 weeks. So I'm sort of, started a few weeks just before the old lockdown. But it's been fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing these Stadia Monday night chats. I hope you've been having a lot of fun joining me as again as ever we shall wander down the Stadia Strasse and see what's happening in the world of Stadia news, Stadia games. As I say, let me know what you've been playing here. Lowland Profits, always good to see you, my friend. Red Dead Redemption 2 online and Zombie Dead War 4. Yeah, I've been still playing Zombie Dead War 4. I've been playing a lot of that. Obviously, been streaming a lot of PUBG. I also was streaming with my son who was on the Xbox. So we had a bit of a cross-console squad. So it was Lord Kensal, Yoshida, and XD Voidy, who is my son. He was on the Xbox S. We were on Stadia, and we joined forces. And I tell you what, years and years wasted. I say years, he's only 10, but years and years wasted on hours and hours. Let's put it hours. Hours and hours wasted on Fortnite. He's a bit of a goat, a bit of a demon when it comes to PUBG in first game. I mean, he's played it before, but he hasn't played it in a long time. Picked it up straight away, and he was on like a 10 kills streak or something ridiculous. Bonkers. And we're just checking the chat here. Jerome playing Creed Odyssey. Yes, I need to get that. I still need to get that. Steam Quest, Monopoly, Destiny 2. I'm sick of PUBG. Thought I was improving, but last 2 days, grrr. Yep. Yeah, you've got to be. Sometimes you're just not feeling the PUBG. You know, I can pick up. Start a game and I'm just not quite there. And then other times I feel like rocking and rolling. Resurrector, lovely to see you. Loving all your designs. If you've not checked out Resurrector's controller designs, not just controller designs, you did that sort of concept for a mobile device for Stadia. I'm not sure Stadia needs to invest in hardware, but if you could adapt it so that they were like the Razer Jungle, is it the Jungle Cat, Razer Jungle Cat controller, Resurrector? If you could do an adaptation where you put the controllers either side, I think it's like the Jungle Cat, so it looks like a sort of a Switch type thing. That would be a cool. That would be a cool thing. Anyway, right. Without further ado, let me consult my Oracle, my mobile phone, for the news. Oh yes, first of all, we've done the welcomes, welcome, 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 and we've shared what we've all been playing, which is all very good. Remember, hit the like button. Don't forget. I know it's easy to do. You enjoying the podcast and all of that. Get to hit the like. It helps. That's all I'm saying. So whack that like if you can. It'd be much, much, much appreciated. Now, first of all, before we get onto the Stadia news, I have some news about my channel, which is quite exciting. I think quite exciting. So the first thing is this channel is going to be sponsored. I have become an official partner of something, which is kind of cool and quite exciting. It makes me feel like a proper YouTuber. I'm not going to reveal what it is yet, but whatever it is, I can offer discounts in that thing. And so I will reveal more next week. But anyway, I'm going to effectively have this podcast sponsored. Sell out. Why not? It's nice to sort of partner with somebody anyway who kind of recognizes that what you do is quite interesting. So that's quite cool. So we'll be doing that. And then the other thing is YouTube have informed me that I can start having memberships. I won't go into the criteria, but it's sort of a bit complicated. There are I will go into criteria. There are two criteria for memberships. It's 30,000 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers if you're a gaming channel. So I contacted you, said what constitutes a gaming channel, and they said nothing really. We haven't really decided. There's internal conversations going on about it. However, you can have membership. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, sell out. Next couple of weeks, I'll be able to offer memberships. Now the thing is, and maybe chat can help here with this. What do you want to see? If I was to offer memberships, so you know where you have when you're watching some of the YouTubers who can have memberships, underneath the video it'll have like a join or whatever, and you can join it, and for a small fee, monthly fee, you get some exclusives, some extras and stuff like that. So let me know what you think would be quite interesting that I could offer members if I was to sort of run a membership program with YouTube. I'm thinking maybe some first look gameplays for a limited period of time. So you get the first look at the first look gameplays that I might do as Lord Kensal, but then I offer them exclusively for a first look to members. Maybe some additional content. What would that content be about? And stuff like that. Whether sort of after hours, not that I really have because it's just me, but whether I have an after hours after this. It is. Oh, David, yeah. It's hair restorer, David. Yeah? No, it's not hair restorer. It's snake oil. Restore hair of a balding man. New snake oil. No, it's not snake oil. Anyway, we will reveal all next week. I wanted to reveal it when I have some of the, whatever it is here to show you. Anyway, so let me know in the chat. Give me some ideas about what you might want to see from memberships. I want to offer some kind of value if I'm going to do the memberships. So let's put it down. And remember, don't forget, I'm not proud to ask. I'm not afraid to ask. Avail yourself of the super chats while you can, and then it highlights what you've got to say, and that's always very useful as well. And everything helps. Everything helps. Now, one thing as well before we go to the news. Some of you might have seen my unboxing, which I did about an hour ago. I hope you've all rushed to the YouTube channel when it was went up, and you were, if you were subscribed and you've hit the notification bell, you would have known. But anyway, this came today. Ooh. From the Etsy shop. I've left a link down below. What is it? If you haven't seen my unboxing video that I did about an hour ago, I'm going to unbox it here. Now, obviously, I've unboxed it already, full transparency. Oh, membership exclusive gaming competition. Oh, I like that, Mariko. Is it game related? What, in this box? Yes, it is game related. Or is the product game related? Sort of. Sort of. It's aimed at gamers, put it that way. It's aimed at gamers. But let's have a look in here. So this came from Carly at Scarlet_streamer on Twitter, Scarlet_streamer on Twitch, and she has an Etsy shop called Dragon Horde, and she makes really cool stuff. But I thought I'd share this with you. I had this done, bespoke. Lovely box there. So her dragon, that's her logo. And Dragon Horde. All will be revealed next week, David. That's all I'm saying. And here, ladies and gentlemen, see that? Nice. Check out her Etsy shop, Dragon Horde, link below. Beautiful, handcrafted. Look at the work there. Look at the joints along here. Beautiful work. And then your controller, I sort of, in my unboxing, I sort of put the controller in the wrong way, sort of thing. But basically, it can sort of sit like that, and you can rest it on the table. Also, it sits like that if you're resting it on the table, actually, or like that if you put it on the wall. So you see, it's got two little pilot holes here. Yeah, pilot holes there. So you can screw it onto the wall, and then if you've got two like this, sort of display your controllers like that. And it works with other controllers as well. It's not just exclusively to. You imagine that hanging on your wall like that. It's quite nice. Take it off, and there you are, Lord Kensal. And as I say, she'll. You can have designs, you know, she's got a few sort of design examples already, and then you can have them bespoke, as I say, and put your name in them and like that. So that's kind of cool. Do you like those controller stands? I think they're pretty cool. Check her out anyway. I put the link down below, but I just thought I'd share that because it was quite exciting and it came today. I've done a full unboxing. You can check the video out. Please do hit like and all of that if you do. Much appreciated. Anyway, that's enough about the channel. You're all here for Stadia stuff, yeah? Time for a cup of tea first. Right. So, in the news this week, let's have a quick look. Okay, so the big thing I noticed is that YouTube have been, not YouTube, Stadia, Google more specifically, have been doing a lot of promotion. Thank you there, Dave. Always with the super chat there. Always appreciated. Thank you very much, Dave. Much appreciated. Love that. Anyway, so people, I've seen some things on Twitter, people going, you know, oh, Stadia aren't advertising very much. I never see any advertising, on the basis that we don't live in the world where advertising is sort of scattergun approach anymore. It's much more targeted thanks to algorithms and stuff like that. So the key thing is that you might not be getting Stadia adverts because the adverts may not be geared specifically for you. However, that's not the point. The point is Stadia have been, Google, I should say, have been going big on promoting Stadia recently, and they've been doing paid promotions with some major YouTubers. So they did one with Jack Frax, who is a PUBG player generally, and other stuff. So he's a gamer, and they did a sponsored video with him, and they also did one with Sniper Wolf. And I'm just gonna call this up here.
Hello friends, it's me coming to you from quarantine.
It's a bit cringe, so bear with.
It's me coming to you from quarantine.
Yeah.
Today we're gonna be
anyway, the point is, Hi guys, all of that kind of stuff. But the thing is to bear in mind, just so I've double checked, yeah, I'm on a different screen. Um, Look at the views. Over 1.1 million views. So it's going to a lot of people. 60,000 likes. Love your work, Sniper Wolf. 60,000 likes as opposed to 2,500 dislikes, which for Stadia on YouTube is pretty impressive, really. But more importantly, look how many subscribers she's got. Nearly 20 million subscribers. And then, so the other one, Google have done other promotions as well. They say the other one with Jack Frax or whatever. But I just thought that this, she's she doesn't just do game exclusive stuff. She does loads of kind of random nonsense and stuff. But it's just interesting that they're using YouTubers to promote Stadia. And of course, the beauty is here, look. This is the beauty of Stadia and the links. You can just whack in, hit that link, and boom, you're playing Battlegrounds. Or, take that down now, or it's taking you through to the stadia.com page to sign up. And that's the part, like, this is all YouTube have got to do. I mean, Google, this is all that Google's got to do, really. If you think about it, it's just the fact that link to the game is just an awesome thing, and we know it's coming, and that people are going to, they mentioned it anyway. But the fact that A, Google own YouTube, and B, once we get game streaming direct from Stadia straight to YouTube and all of that, and then you've got the link there, it's just going to not only promote Stadia, but it's going to really heavily promote the games that are on Stadia, which of course is attractive to developers and publishers because they're getting a new revenue stream, and it's a self-fulfilling sort of advertising project. It's amazing, really. Does she wear clothes? Yes, she is, you simp. She does. She is simp. She does wear clothes. Darth Ada says, why can't I change the video quality? It's on 480. I don't know. You should just check the settings on your YouTube video. Well, hey, we're not going to, I'm not here to debate Christopher why she's got 20 million. She's just, no disrespect to her, but she's a sort of fairly generic, hi guys type YouTuber. So, and those that game as well. And I mean, she did do gaming and stuff. That's why she's called SS Sniper Wolf. But she also, because her YouTube following is built up, she's done much more variety of YouTube type videos. I don't know that much about her. I can confess. All I was just surprised when I looked her up because of the Stadia promotion is that I was expecting she might have 5 million subscribers. In fact, she had 20 million subscribers, and that video in itself has already had 1 million. So, and it's ironic because I saw somebody on Twitter. Bear with me here. I've got a picture. Here, share this picture with you. So this is the typical kind of junk that we have to live with. I hope you can read what that says. But anyway, I'll read it to you. This is from Maz Gaming, #Morg, Maz Gaming UK. And he says, I'm going to do him with a silly voice because that's the kind of guy I am. I say this with literally zero sarcasm whatsoever. Is Stadia even still a thing? I've not heard it mentioned for months, and the entirety of my Twitter is gaming related. Does anyone have any positives or negatives with this product? And then, of course, there's loads and loads of, yeah, Stadia. Yeah. The positive is we were able to cancel our pre-order right before it shipped. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, you get the idea. So there's some people who, like, clearly Stadia haven't sort of reached, but equally, they're living in their own social bubble, and therefore maybe Stadia is not for them. The algorithms will find you if it's for you. I did reply to that guy saying, yeah, I had a chance to cancel my pre-order before it came, and basically said, you're lost, dude. You're lost. Anyway, I'm not here just to sort of moan about people who moan about Stadia, because they are becoming the minority, I would argue. There has been definitely a sea shift in favour of Stadia. And why is that? Because people have tried it. And as we've always said, like all Stadia users, all the Stadia content creators, of one, as it were, have constantly said, man, if people just try it, we wouldn't be so frustrated about all these negative YouTube videos and negative press we get. We still get it, of course we do. But the great argument now is to say, why don't you just try it? Simple, yeah? Try it. Then come back to me, because then you're qualified to decide whether it's any good and it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine. If it's not for you, that's fine. But try it first before you slag it off. That's all I'm saying. And now people have that opportunity. The amount of comments in Reddit and on Twitter that you see going, oh, I'd heard loads of negative things, or I'd read negative things about Stadia and I tried it. This is pretty good. If anything, this is a positive for Stadia, because it's the expectation had been driven so low by all this negative press that actually when people try it, their expectations are low, and then when they try it, they're like pleasantly surprised. So you get this overwhelming positive experience. So let's just these type of idiots just want pats on the back from their idiot followers and the kinfolk. Of course they do. It's a self-fulfilling thing. I can't change it, says Darth Adas. Oh, I don't know why it's in 480 for you. I think it's at least 720, if not 1080, streaming it. It's true. Are you talking about my stream, Darth Adas, or are you talking about Stadia, just to clarify that? My youngest son says he's seen a lot of Stadia ads on YouTube recently. Yeah, I mean, as my son's friends didn't know what Stadia was. This was a few months ago, a couple of months ago. And my son told them what it was. My stream. Okay, I don't know why that is. It should be streaming at least 720, if not 1080p on YouTube for you, Darth. Apologies for that. Christopher Torres says, that's true. More Stadia players and gamers are trying it. We should ignore these folks about negative comments. So tiring. It is tiring. I still get dragged in. Oh, I'm a fool. I'm a fool for doing it. I shouldn't get dragged in. Stadia works great in 4K. Yes, it does. It does. I've been playing a lot at balanced, just because I know lots of stuff going on in my house and stuff. And I don't have a 4K monitor when I'm playing at the desk here. So balance is absolutely perfectly fine. When the house is empty and I stick it on 4K on the TV, but then that's fine. 720 here. Yeah, I think I'm broadcasting this at 720 just so the quality gets out there, as it was. Well, the stream remains constant. Anyway, so that was the news about Google promoting, and I think we're going to see a lot more YouTubers promoting Stadia, and the fact that they brought PewDiePie back in the fold. Could we see PewDiePie? Could we see someone of that ilk? Who knows? Who knows? You know, you might not, like PewDiePie or one of those things, but 100 million subscribers. And it's exactly those annoying kind of people that follow him that are probably, yeah, Stadia's crap as well. So if you can turn them around, you're onto a big thing. Haters are annoying, of course they are. But, in the words of the great Taylor Swift, haters gotta hate. Okay, so what else is in the news? So that's the million news. Okay, so the other thing is Ember. So talking of games coming, I read that Ember, the new game coming to Stadia, is going to be cross-play with PC. Now, I know it's a first on Stadia, although somebody said to me it's coming to Steam as well at the same time. Is that right? I thought it was exclusive to Stadia for a period of time. There was an exclusive window. I need to check that. But Ember is going to be cross-play with PC players, which is cool. But in the tweet talking about it, let's actually get that tweet. Bear with me here. Oh, the news article. No, that's not it. Go to the news article. Come on, news article. Thank you. Okay, so here we are. Ember is to have cross-platform with multiplayer. So Ember's that sort of put out the fire game with co-op and co-op in-game, and then groups of up to 4 people here. This is so Ember, which is on first on Stadia a first on Stadia game that launches on Thursday in early access will have cross-platform multiplayer. This is continuing the trend of cross-platform games on Stadia. I'm a bit ill today, so forgive me, my brain's catching up. This is continuing the trend of cross-platform games on Stadia, which includes The Division 2 and Baldur's Gate 3. So this is the bit that interested me. So, and also reminded me that you're going to get cross-play with Baldur's Gate 3 as well. And I think this is the way to go. I think every game now we see, I think there is a high probability that games that are launching on other platforms or are available on other platforms that have cross-play will have some kind of cross-play with Stadia. They have to be honest. Whether it's cross-play with console, as is the case with PUBG, or cross-play with PC players, as it is with Division 2. Both of those really rock and really benefit with the fact that they do have cross-play, and it makes Stadia one of the gang. You know, hey, it's Stadia, Xbox, PlayStation, Stadia, PC. You know, it just makes them part of the gaming fraternity and makes them sort of feel a bit more welcome in that way. And I think it's really important. And I'm curious whether we're going to see cross-play on Destiny 2. I mean, if they do I think it would be in their interests to do that. What do you think? Let me know in the chat. But we definitely should get cross-play. And I don't know why Bungie have not done it. I can understand maybe why they didn't do it at first, because they by the sounds of things, it was a bit of a rush to port it. They did a lot of work on it to get it right. And they were one of the first ones to port a game. Not the first, but one of the first ones to really port a game. So they probably put that cross-play element to one side. But I'm not supposing it could be that difficult to incorporate cross-play going forward in another patch. I always put my fiance on my mobile data unlimited for Netflix, so all the bandwidth for me. Nice. Jerome says, I worry about cheating cheaters. Yeah, I must admit, playing PUBG with console players is nice, because then you know there's no real cheaters. Yeah, I know you can get some adapter for your controller maybe, but you know, they're outliers. It's not as many cheaters as you're going to get on PC. Garfadas says every multiplayer should be cross-player. Absolutely, it should be cross-play. And I think going forward, we're going to see it. It's going to be the norm. It's not just in Stadia's interest. It's in the game's interest, and therefore in the developer and publisher's interest that it's cross-platform. Right. More news. Let's go to more news. Okay, so we've got the games coming out, games announced, of course. He says, looking at his news thing here. PGA Tour from 2K21 PGA Tour, so golfing game. Who's into golf? So it's good to see. It's good to see that we're getting the big sports game. You might not be a big golfing fan. Me, I was a great Mario Golf fan. I love Mario Golf. But anyway, this is not Retro Gaming Club here. Generation X Retro Gaming Club here. This is Stadia Monday Night Chat. Yeah, Mario Golf. But I think it's good that we're beginning to see the big, sports things. So we've got, we've got the NBA, we've got golf coming now. We know we've got FIFA, and we're bound to see some other things as well. Jerome says he's very excited about this golf. So this is the big golf game. So that's kind of cool, and looking forward to that. Let me know if you're looking forward to golf. As I say, you don't have to be a massive golf fan. I downloaded the NBA, by the way, because it was only £2.95 or whatever, about €3. If you're in Europe, it costs €3. Like, even though I never play it, I felt like for that price, it's rude not to have it on the in my games library. And I'm going to come to the games library a little bit later as well, because that's getting quite interesting. Darth Adas, yes, so the Mafia trilogy. So there is a Mafia announcement. So the publishers behind Mafia are making an announcement. I think, is it tomorrow or Thursday? So some people are speculating that they might stealth drop some of the installments of the Mafia. So Mafia's 1, 2, and 3 tomorrow. But there is an announcement about the Mafia game coming. Let's see while we're here. Let me just see if I can find it. Mafia game announcement. Yes.
Everything
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I've done for my family.
For the last 10 years, all I'd done was kill. I killed for my family. I killed anybody that got in my way.
Family and who you're born with is who you die for.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So it says announcement. Let's just switch that video off. It goes on to the next one. Yeah. So it says announcement. Bear with me there. Groan. Announcement. So it says announcement is coming tomorrow. So it is coming tomorrow. So as I say, there is speculation that there may be a stealth drop of Mafia. One of the installments of Mafia. So all installments are coming, 1, 2, and 3, but they think there might be a stealth drop. That'd be very interesting. Let me know whether you're interested in Mafia as well. Dave Windle says, I've only played the career mode on NBA. Two things, it's hard and it's not the best port. Okay, I haven't even tried it yet. I bought it. One is in August, Mafia 1. Yeah, that's what I've heard, that Mafia 1 would not be one of the ones that are stealth dropped. So we might be seeing Mafia 2 or 3 drop tomorrow. Jerome says, been playing Triple Threat in NBA 2K. Finally have 3 great players. That's good. Okay, so what is that sort of co-op in that? Let me know. Mafia 1 was my favourite game, says Darth Adas, for years. Came about at the same time as, yeah, I vaguely remember Mafia, GTA 3, and in my opinion, Mafia was way better. Resurrector. Do you like NBA 2K, Kira? I haven't even tried it, NBA. That's the thing. I've just bought it. I haven't even opened it. Maybe I'll do a stream, like a complete noob. Complete noob plays NBA. I only vaguely know the rules of. That's it. That's a lie. Yeah, I hardly. Okay. Vaguely know the rules of basketball. I'm a European. Although there is a misconception that that Europeans don't play basketball. I understand. I think in Greece or somewhere, it's like a national sport. There are parts of Europe in which it is massive. I mean, clearly in the UK, it's big, but football is soccer. Football is the dominant sport. But in certain European countries, I know basketball is really massive, and I think Greece is one of them, strangely enough. Anyway, Liam Palmiter says, probably Mafia 2 and 3 drop tomorrow. Well, it's weird that they say announcement as opposed to available. So maybe they will do, to me that sounds like they'll do 1. Yeah. I bought it for £2.40, but it sucks. But I suck balls. Yeah, but at that price, it's like, I don't know, it's like I'm going to say a packet of biscuits. An expensive packet of biscuits. But you know what I mean? It's like it's throwaway money, isn't it? Like, but a pint, less than the price of a pint. Probably half the price of a pint in London, to be honest. Certainly less than a pint in most parts of the country, but definitely half the price of a pint in London. So what's that? What else have we got here in the chat? Yeah, so anyway, Spain, it's huge, says David. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of Spain. No, I'm sure in Greece I read. Um, yeah. Okay, let's just crack on with some other news. Oh, yes, I remember now. The other news, I'm just typing in to our favourite news site. I wanted to find my own news, but you know, when you're prepping these shows, you need the shoulder of giants to stand on sometimes when you're prepping these shows. And I'm not too proud to admit, you know who I rely on and who you should always check out as well for all the Stadia news, because they have all the latest and greatest on Stadia, and of course it is Stadia Source. So make sure you check them out. I mean, it's always the first point of call I go to when I'm constructing the show. I collect news and snippets and stuff during the week and make a little sort of Google Keep note item list of stuff. But sometimes I'm feeling a bit lazy. Stadia Source has all the news, so make sure you check them out. Is what I use. But anyway, it reminded me here that just going to go to this story here. So there's been an update on Doom. So they've added in new content here. Free precious metals event, empowered demons, single player campaign updates, battle mode balance changes, and more. But more interesting than this, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not sure it's mentioned in this bit here, but one of the followers on my channel, who sometimes pops in here, and on Twitter, a guy called Random Noob. Now, Random Noob occasionally does latency tests, and he uses a special sort of light meter thing. He'll be able to explain. If he was here, he could. And in the same way that sort of Digital Foundry and other people who kind of measure latency tests, so really scientifically measuring, you know, the time it takes for you to press the button and for the action to take place on the screen, and in the way that forensically Digital Foundry have done it. And he was one of the first few people, well, certainly the first person I know that, hey, Random Noob, yay! I'm bigging you up, man. Lovely. Yeah, so look, you can explain, is it a light meter or something you put on the screen or point at the screen, or do you just slow it down to frame by frame and then do a frame count and a bit of maths? The point is, anyway, so you were one of the first people that sort of, everybody knew that when Digital Foundry did that initial review of Doom Eternal, and then they said, oh, the latency on here just makes it almost unplayable. It looks beautiful, but latency on Stadia is terrible on Doom Eternal, and I'll stick with my Xbox One X, the most powerful console in the world. Of which cloud streaming it looks almost as good. Anyway, and most players of Stadia players of Doom Eternal knew instinctively. We didn't have to do a forensic analysis. We knew extensively there was something wrong about that article. And Random Noob, I think he did, if I seem to remember, did the first one was a light sensor, he says, but now I count frames because it's more accurate. Okay, that's it. Brilliant. So I think, as you say, you did one on Doom Eternal, and you noticed that the latency and lag was not Xbox One X plus 100 milliseconds, or between 100 to 150 milliseconds, which is what Digital Foundry was saying. And subsequently, Digital Foundry went back. I'd like to think it was because of Random Noob, but it wasn't. It's because I think Google and the developer approached them. So id Software approached them, and I think Google, and said, can we help you out with your setup? All the Stadia content creators were going, you know, you're meant to be Digital Foundry, you're meant to be kind of experts in this field and gaming and tech and all that kind of stuff, and you can't even sort out your own Wi-Fi and broadband. This is basic 101. Anyway, the point is, they went back, tested it, and went, oh yeah, actually, it's not 100 to 150 milliseconds more than Xbox One. It's maybe, you know, 50 to 60. I forget what number it is they came up with. But ironically enough, it was very, very close. Very, very close to what Random Noob found out it was. Now, correct me if you're wrong, Random Noob, but did you not do another test of Doom Eternal? Or did I? This is what I'm thinking. I'm basing this. This is what this is leading up to. Since the update, or either that or I read it somewhere. You can confirm, Random Noob, that since the update, the Doom Eternal update, so it was just a patch. No waiting for downloads on Stadia. It was just a patch, so instant for Doom Eternal for Stadia players. There was a reduction in the latency. So as I understand it, that new patch, there is a reduction in the latency. Now, I don't know whether there is an equal reduction in the Xbox One X version. And so basically they've just reduced the latency generally, or whether it's specifically to Stadia. But if it is specifically to Stadia, I think that's very interesting. The fact that someone like id Software have gone back to try and improve that whole latency. And could it be that actually, you know, since all the marketing money for Doom Eternal was from Xbox initially, that if they're constantly improving it specifically for Stadia, could we see an increase above the definition of the fidelity of Xbox One X? Could it end up being true 4K for Stadia, like a little bit later down the road? Almost stealth-like. It's like now Xbox have done all their marketing and spent all their marketing money. We can go, okay, Stadia, rise up. Well, interesting. So Random News says, thank you, Random. I'm doing this from the top of my head, and I remember seeing it and thinking it was interesting. Random News says, yes, I did a second one, but the ones where I count frames do not take into account display latency. All I'm measuring is the actual game and stream latency, of course. Display latency, of course, if you don't switch on your gamer mode, can have a massive impact. Which is, of course, you know, the difference we're talking is imperceptible, really, to when you're playing, generally, the improvement. But it's just interesting that there potentially is an improvement. So I'd be interested in whether Digital Foundry take another look, and if that is the case, and verifies, you know, all good science papers, all good science theories need peer checking, as it were. So if Random Noob has done it, we just need Digital Foundry to have another look and confirm Random Noob's findings, and vice versa, etc. That's how science works. Anyway, I just thought that was very, very interesting. If that is the case, and could we see more improvements from other developers who maybe ported the game in a short space of time and then go back and revisit it? I mean, sometimes it's not worth it just to do it for one platform, but if it's easy enough to do, then why not? Right. Let's just double check on the news on Stadia Source. So we covered all the main things. So Jack Frax, yeah, we've done that. Wave break. Some new equipment pack is coming to Farming Simulator. Played it once. That's all I'm saying. The other news is Rock of Ages here, interestingly enough. There's a slight delay, not a massive delay. Again, this is from Dan. Thank you, Dan. Dan Wheeler of Stadia Source. Due to current events, Rock of Ages 3 will be launching 7 weeks later than announced. So it's been delayed until July the 21st. So there you go. There's been a delay. And talking of games in general, ladies and gentlemen, I found quite a useful list. Now, I know there is a list on Reddit, generally, down the side on the Stadia Reddit channel of the games, but Android Police also have a list which they constantly keep up to date, and I'm going to share that with you now, of all the Stadia games. And I think there are 83 games that are announced here. So this was updated with Formula 1 2020, and it's also got the golf. So this was updated on May the 15th. Jerome says, I couldn't get into Farm 2019. I tried it once. I prefer a delay for release to a half-baked game. Ditto, you know, and I'm not one of these people as well, if they're a big game doesn't release day and date on the other consoles. If there's like a week or a few days, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're not going to rush out and buy an Xbox One X just because a game arrives on it 3 days before say Stadia. I'd rather they get it right. But generally, there will be day-on-day launches. But just a sort of a by the by. And exactly, I think that what happens in development when I used to work in the gaming industry as a sort of publisher and working with developers, is there's inevitably what they call design creep. If people don't manage the project, you need good project managers in development who can manage the project carefully through the stages, keep the publisher up to date. Because inevitably there's going to be delays because people always overpromise that they can delay it. So you need a realistic project manager who can project manage and get that product delivered on time to the publisher. And it doesn't always work. So that's just inevitable. I did, so Random Noob, I did see that. I wasn't quite... I didn't quite understand the principle behind it because I also got confused. There is some debate whether Google streams everything. So Google plays, so this is what confused me as well about the tweet, Random Noob, that you're referring to. There was another tweet, and maybe chat you can answer. I don't know. Somebody raised the question: does Google play the game? So on the Stadia servers, does the game play at a set rate, whether it's in 4K or whatever, but the stream is delivered at your appropriate rate? So either at balanced, at 4K, 1080p, 720p, whatever you've set it to, but the game itself is played on the server at the full a constant rate, so at the best possible rate, and then the stream is just figured to your particular device, as it were, or streaming set. Alice says, okay, reset Chromecast Ultra and 720 works. Oh, you're watching me on the big TV. Hello. Lovely to see you. There. Yay! Lovely to see you on the big screen. But yeah, so Random Noob explained to me there, it looks like Google is starting to test streaming at 1440p. I posted a screenshot with the stream running at 1440p 60. I noticed that, and it was Doom 64, which I think we're going to do. I'm going to do a stream, and Rock, maybe you want to do a stream. Maybe we can do a stream together. I don't know if it's co-op. We should definitely do a live stream of Doom 64 on Generation X Retro Gaming Club, 9 p.m. tomorrow, everybody. Don't miss it. On Generation X Retro Gaming Club. Rock and I will be doing that. But maybe we should be doing do a live stream of Doom 64 because it's a retro game. But yeah, the image you showed, Random Noob, looked like it was from Doom 64. And you're saying it was playing in 1440p at 60 frames per second. But I'd be interested in what that's all about, Random Noob, about whether they are testing out the streams at that level. I'm curious. And what does that mean for the other games and stuff? 1440p, is that sort of a high? Is that like a 3K? Are we talking at 3K there? Let me know. I haven't got the brain on today. I can't think. Can't do my maths, as they say. 2K. Thank you. Doing maths in my head. The game is running at 4K, but 1440p is 2K. Okay, that's interesting. Garth says, I've seen some websites Stadia Head with all the games on Stadia and what resolution and frame rate. Okay. Right. Meanwhile, here we are. I was talking about all the games. Let's go to it. So this is from Android Police. Let's have a look at all the games. So say this is updated from May the 15th. So it's got Formula 1 2020. It's also got the golf thing on there as well. But if we go down here, 83 games have either launched or been announced to date. And let's see if we're missing any here. Obviously, Assassin's Creed available. Valhalla, we know. Attack on Titan, Baldur's Gate, TBA, Borderlands 3, Chorus, 2021. We know that. Crater coming out in summer. Chris Tales. I forgot about Chris Tales. Sometime in 2020. Cyberpunk, of course, coming out in October. Darkseid's Genesis, Destiny 2, Destroy All Humans, sometime in 2020. Dirt 5, 21. Doom 64, available now. Does that count as a game release? Can you buy Doom 64 as a separate game? Or I thought it was just if you bought as a sort of a bonus if you bought Doom Eternal. Anyway, Doom Eternal, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Ember, we know is coming out this month. Formula 1 2020 coming out in July. Farming Simulator, FIFA, we think by the end of the year with a new FIFA. Final Fantasy 15, Football Manager 2020, Get Packed out. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Gods and Monsters Grid, Gunsport coming out soon. Jotun, so we say it. Just Dance, Just Shapes and Beats. I kind of liking the look of that. Kona, Lara Croft, Temple of Osiris. Not really my cup of tea. I like a proper Lara Croft game. No disrespect to that, but I like a proper Lara Croft game. Lost Words Beyond the Page, Madden. Same end of the year. Marvel's Avengers, we know, coming out September time, I think it was. Metro Exodus, Monopoly, yay! Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, out on Switch for a while. Monster Energy Supercross 3, Monster Jam Steel Titans. I forgot about that. Random News says you can buy Doom 64 separately. I think it's £5. Okay, thank you for that, Random. I wasn't sure. I thought it was just a freebie for those that bought Doom Eternal. Moto GP20, NBA, Octopath Traveler. We know Orcs Must Die 3. We know that's coming very soon. Panzer Dragoon remake, PGA Tour from 2K21. Battlegrounds Unknown, yeah, PUBG, Power Rangers. Really? Rage 2, Rainbow Six Quarantine. So we know that was announced recently. It's coming out. Very excited about that. Red Dead Redemption, of course. Relicta, Republique, Rise of Tomb Raider, Rock of Ages, Make or Break. We'd mentioned that earlier. It's delayed until a bit later in July. Samurai Showdown, Serious Sam Collection. Should go back to that game. Shadow of Tomb Raider, Spitlings, Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Star Wars Fallen Order, we're expecting in the fall. Or autumn, as you say here. SteamWorld Dig, SteamWorld Dig 2, SteamWorld High, SteamWorld Quest. Anything else vaguely related to SteamWorld? Sundared, Old Rich Edition, Super Hot. Super Hot, that was one of the first announcements. Why is it taking so long? Super Hot. It's been out for a long time, and there's even the VR version of it as a game. And it was on the initial list. Remember, if I did that, I went through the list of all the games that were available. Right at the beginning, they announced that hadn't been released yet. Super Hot was on that. Crew 2, Division 2, Elder Scroll. A lot of people asking about that. A lot of people looking forward to that. Turing Test, Thumper. Thumper. Instead of gone Danish and Thumper. Tomb Raider, Definitive Edition, Trials Rising, Watchdog Legions, we know that. Wave Break coming very soon. West of Loathing, Windjammers 2, Wolfenstein, Zombie Army. Any missing off there? But anyway, that's 83 games. And remember, at the beginning of the year, they said there would be 120 games. coming to Stadia by the end of the year. I think we're pretty close. No, I'm not going to hold it against them if there's only 100 games or 110 games by the end of the year. We've had a strange year and there might be a few delays, but we're well on the way, considering there are about 20 odd games before January. And so, yeah, and we're not even in June yet. And we know there's a whole shed load of releases coming in, usually come in September and October for the holiday season. And that release, I also read a tweet actually that reminds me about the next Stadia Connect. And I cannot for life see it, but somebody was saying, I want to say June the 6th, or is it June the 9th? Let me have a look in my diary. Does anybody know? I tried to look it up. June. When do they normally do it? Yeah, 9th. Usually a Tuesday, maybe. So I think Club Brian at Club Stadia, I'm sure he tweeted next Stadia Connect on June the 9th. So not long for that. 3 weeks. So that's exciting. We know we're going to get a shed load of more games, game announcements and game delivery dates and stuff like that, published dates and things like that. So that's quite exciting. But here we go. The Stadia train is up and pumping and running, and we're just getting games and all that kind of stuff now. So it's all good. It's all good. So there we go. They're all the sort of the main news highlights and stuff I just wanted to share with you. Let me know what games, if you're looking forward to Stadia Connect and stuff like that. Random Noob, I should get you on here to explain some of these theories. Let's go back to this 2K thing. Up to now, stream resolutions are 720p, 1080p, and 4K. People on PC with 2K monitors get stuck at 1080p. All right, okay, so I get it now. Thank you, Random Noob. So all you're saying here is that it's basically providing another option, an in-between option between 1080p and 4K, which is kind of cool. Stefan Robida says, and some features for Stadia. Yeah, I get the impression. I think last time we were all hoping they would make announcements about features, hardware features and tech features. But I think realistically, it's about the games. Certainly the last one, that's what it turned out to be. The one in, when was it now? Beginning of the May? I can't remember now. It was about the games, and I think it's more about the games. I think a lot of the initial tech and hardware updates are going to be more sort of stealth releases, like the fact that they're testing the 2K apparently, allegedly, according to a Random Noob, but they might just roll that out. The wireless controller element. Hope you've all been enjoying playing wireless controller. I know I have. The only thing is I can't stream with wireless controller. When I'm streaming as Lord Kensal, I have to plug it in just so my system can pick up the sound, because I think the sound comes straight to the controller. Wi-Fi. I certainly can't find the source on my PC when I play it, when I'm trying to stream it. Anyway, a bit confusing. Don't need to know that. But anyway, the point is it works fine when I'm streaming, but when I'm not streaming, Wi-Fi is a dream. Doesn't make a hell of a lot of difference, but it's just nice to be able to walk around with the controller and not get dragged back by the by a lead connected. Static Fox says, welcome Static Fox, welcome to the channel there. Xbox might be a factor in the future. Stadia needs worry about them. I don't think it's a surprise. The Stadia have known what Xbox are doing. Xbox knows what Stadia are doing. In fact, Phil Spencer, I'm going to get my Phil's muddled up. Harrison Spencer. Phil Spencer of Xbox, said ages ago that he saw the next big threat was cloud gaming, and he was really talking about Stadia, not just Stadia, but that's why they're investing heavily in Project X Cloud. So they've got one eye on Stadia. And Stadia's doing their own thing, you know, cloud. They're not having to worry. The thing about Stadia is they don't have to worry about, oh, is our console powerful enough? How's the hardware going? Oh, how's our cloud thing going, our offering going? All Stadia have to concentrate on is delivering a superb cloud gaming experience. Be the pioneers in that, driving, be the leaders, you know, to be the platform of choice when it comes to cloud gaming. That's all they need to concentrate on. At the moment, Xbox are thinking, okay, when it comes to the Xbox One X, what the hell is PlayStation 5 doing? So they've got one eye on Sony and on the the solid physical console part of their business, and then they've got another eye on the cloud streaming game of the business. So at the moment, Microsoft is looking at what Stadia is doing. They're also looking at what PlayStation is doing. Whereas all Stadia needs to do, concentrate on its cloud gaming and delivering stuff that only it can deliver. And for me, the big thing is to be the not only we already know the quality is up there and will only improve. You know, given the choice between the current generation of consoles, quality of Stadia is on a par, if not better in some cases, and sometimes on a par with Xbox One X, the most powerful console in the world. So Stadia's got that bit done. That the beauty is they're delivering it via the cloud. So we know that compared to other cloud systems, in terms of the whole package of delivering a good gaming experience, they've got it nailed. They've just got to build up the library and then build up the feature set. And the feature set are, you know, as I say, being able to stream to YouTube, the whole crowd play element and all those things, being able to jump into other people's games just with a link and sharing a link. That's what Stadia needs to concentrate on, and that's what they're going to be doing. Because the better the offering it is to consumers, the better the offering it is to developers. Because developers want to, you know, find out. I've said it a million times before. Developers want to find an alternative revenue stream, and cloud gaming presents that. Stadia presents the best version of that because it is effectively a virtual console. So they know they're going to get a share, they'll get a royalty off the back of every game that is sold on Stadia. So it's in the gamers, it's in publishers' interest for Stadia to do well. If only A, to promote the concept of cloud gaming, B, because those publishers, some of the bigger publishers, may look into doing their own cloud gaming service or join up with someone to do it. So if Stadia can promote the very fact that cloud gaming is a thing and works really well, that's in the interest of publishers. I've seen it in the television and film. Initially, it was just Netflix and Amazon Prime were the dominant forces. And now many TV companies and film companies, as we've seen with Disney Plus, have thought, wait a minute, why are we licensing all our content to them? We'll have that back, please. And as those licenses have ended, they've taken them back. We've seen it with Disney Plus and the Marvel and the Disney films and the Star Wars films. They've taken them all back, stuck them off once the licenses have ended with Netflix and Amazon Prime, whatever, and stuck them on Disney Plus. You've seen it with the Warner Brothers channel, you've seen it with Universal's channel. Everybody's doing their own streaming platform. And you'll start seeing it with the big publishers like EA and stuff like that, and even Epic to a certain degree, start having their own cloud streaming. But that's only a viable business if cloud streaming is a thing. And you need that one dominant party to demonstrate that it works in the same way that Netflix really proved to the world this was an actual thing. And Google Stadia is, in my mind, the Netflix of cloud gaming. I don't mean, is it a subscription service? No, you fool. Listen, in terms of being a pioneer, in terms of offering cloud gaming, delivering entertainment via the cloud, specifically gaming. So it's in the interest that publishers promote, helps, that Stadia succeeds. So as I say, it promotes the idea of cloud gaming, but equally it's in their interests because it's another revenue source for them selling games, another console platform other than just PlayStation and Xbox One for them to sell games. So that's why, it's true. Yeah, Jerome says Nvidia Shield since 2015. I've used GeForce now, and it works. It works all right. Although, interestingly, I did see another tweet talking about GeForce Now, and it did highlight the main difference and why Stadia works so well. You basically go to your Chrome browser, put in stadia.com, or if you've got the icon on your Chromebook, you hit this Stadia icon, and instantly Stadia.com comes up. Got your library. Oh, I'm going to play that game. You hit that game, you're playing. Playing on the Chromecast Ultra again. You basically turn your controller on, and boom, there it is. Scroll down to the game you want, hit play, you're playing within a matter of seconds. GeForce Now is a pain in the butt, and it is the equivalent of owning it's the cloud equivalent of owning a PC. In terms of like, oh, I've got to get my Steam client up. Is my Steam client connected? Oh, I've got to kind of sign into this bit here. It just look. If you're a PC gamer and you've got a shed load of games on Steam, then yeah, you don't mind mucking about on your PC, fiddling with the settings, making sure your graphic card works correctly if you're a PC gamer. And then equally with GeForce Now, you don't mind signing into that extra client, or signing into the Uplay Plus client, signing into my Steam client, and all that kind of stuff. It's an extra level that PC gamers are kind of used to. I mean, they're into that. The beauty of consoles generally are, get a game, plug it in, you push it in, or if it's digital, you press play, it plays, it works, boom, that's it. Same with Stadia as a virtual console is pick a game, press play, you're playing within seconds. And GeForce Now, there are various steps you need to go through, even though it's being delivered by cloud, before you actually get to play. And it makes a difference. It does make a difference. So it's just something I hadn't really thought about before until somebody pointed it out. And as I say, if you've got Stadia, having come from another game console or from gaming PC, that just the sheer convenience means so much, and you don't realize it until you have it, and then you go, oh my god, this is so straightforward. I told you I streamed PUBG with my son XD Voidy, and he was on the Xbox One S. But the thing is, I'd had to. Ironically enough, he said, "Can I play with your dad?" I said, "Yeah, of course you can. Have you got PUBG on your Xbox One S? We used to have it." And of course, no, because we had to remove it. Because you always have that problem with the Xbox One X and Xbox One, and the same with PlayStation, where a new game comes out and you want to download it, and it goes, "Oh, you haven't got enough space on your hard drive," and so you're going, "Okay," and then you have that dilemma of what game I'm going to remove. But clearly, we'd been through that process a few months before. We'd removed PUBG because I hadn't been playing it on the Xbox, replace it with another game. So I said to him, "Yeah, you sure you can play PUBG with me?" And then we realized we had to download the game. It took him 40 minutes to download the game. Now, in fairness, it was because I was streaming at the same time, and he was playing Overwatch, and at the same time trying to download PUBG. But that idea, can I play and jump in? The fact that he had to download the game, and it took, even if we hadn't been using the internet at the same time, it still would have taken at least 20 minutes, if not half an hour. We have 50 megabits per second. That's how long it takes to download a game onto Xbox. And PUBG is not a big game. You talk like Call of Duty or Red Dead Redemption, it literally, you're talking nearly up to an hour sometimes. So again, you don't appreciate the beauty of just going, oh, game release. Like I said to you in the Sniper Wolf YouTube video with the link there, click, click sign up. It takes longer to sign up Stadia than it is to actually click a button and play. 40 minutes, it was crazy, Jerome. And it was because I was using it, and I was streaming at the same time and playing a game. So the internet was throttled at that moment for downloads because I was using the bandwidth. But even so, it takes 20 minutes plus GeForce Now does not look as crisp. Yeah, so the beauty of GeForce Now is it does deliver. They argue is that they deliver a consistent, consistent stream. That's because they're constantly altering it. But yeah, the experience is not as smooth and slick as it is with Stadia. Project Storm, lovely to see you. Welcome to the channel. Power fantastic. Now there's nothing to watch on Netflix. Exactly. But you'll find this is true of all the platforms, all the film and TV streaming platforms. Even BBC iPlayer is taking stuff, BBC programs off Netflix and other things like that as the licenses end, so that they can fill out and start utilizing and getting people to use iPlayer more and more. So it's true of all the big content owners, as it were. Zazadini, Stadia was announced a year ago. 6 months later, it was released. Now, 6 months later, we're here playing games, etc. Job getting done. Service and game library growing. No complaints here. £8.99. Exactly. It's taken a while, and they had to go through that process of first get the opinion leaders on, get the tech guys on, get the first early adopters on. And that's where the problem really, was, and the misunderstanding about, when you're trying to, 12 months ago when they try to explain the concept of cloud gaming. What is cloud gaming then? Said Mr. Stupid. Google said, okay. Or people trying to sort of explain what Stadia, was to Mr. Stupid. Okay, how can we put this in words that you understand? So the game is streamed direct to your computer or TV. Oh, a bit like Netflix. Yeah, a bit like the bit like how Netflix streams the films straight to your TV or your computer. Oh, right. Hey, Bob, Google's releasing a game service a bit like Netflix. You mean a subscription service? Yeah, I think so. And thus that message kind of got out and people got confused, thinking, is it cloud gaming? What, streaming a game? So was it like Netflix or like a subscription? No, it's not a bloody subscription, you idiot. No one said it was going to be a subscription other than people who are idiots, and then perpetuated that myth, and then when it delivered, go, oh, it's not even a subscription. Anyway, don't get me started. Whew. Anyway, the point is, Stadia's gone through that process now. That the sort of the marketing thing is, as I said previously in other podcasts. First, it's get those early adopters, convince the developers, and the developers were on board. They weren't cynical about it. It was just sort of all the hardcore PC gamers and the console fanboys and stuff. But now we've got through to the bit now where we've got a library of games growing. It's 6 months old. That library's only going to grow. It's available free to try, and you get to try all these Stadia Pro games. So you can, there's a variety you can try to see whether you like it. All sorts of games, indie type games, AAA games, popular, battle royale games you can try out. See if it's for you, see if it works on your system, fiddle about with things, get it working nice. And if you like it, keep subscribing. If not, keep it free and just buy the games you want. So that's the consumer message now. No downloads, no hanging around. And I say, once people try that, especially if you're a console player and you've had to wait, you're in the mood for a game and then you had to wait for a patch to update or something, and then you've got the same equivalent on Stadia and there's no patch waits or no updates or something like that. It's a dream. A dream, my friends, is a dream. Static Fox says, everyone wants more games in June. I want more features. Yeah, I think they maybe hint. I think it's wishful thinking more on our part that they'll make announcements about features. I think it's more about, because at the end of the day, that's less important to the mainstream consumer. The mainstream consumer just wants to be able to understand what the concept is, but they can try before they buy, literally, and then have a good library of games that is growing. And so you want those, hopefully we'll hear more about the additional. There are other EA games that are coming, other publishers coming on board, maybe Activision and stuff like that, that announcements are due, putting some dates on games that we do know are coming. I think that will probably be what you'll get in that next Connect. And the hardware announcements and stuff like that will just be sort of thrown out there and just happen in the way that Google does. They just do it. Oh, guys, by the way, you can stream now to YouTube, just like they did with the wireless. Oh, by the way, wireless controllers now available for Chrome browser. Oh, by the way, 4K in your Chrome browser. There you go. You know, no big announcements, no biggies, you know. Project Storm says, yes, Dasadine, it's amazing that we're able to play and stream Stadia games during this time. Exactly. Games, so there's an article I've not shared today, but there's a news article about game sales have increased by 9% on last year. And there's not been any major big game releases. If you think about Cyberpunk 77, which is the big 2077, is the big release that was due for March, now in October. There's not been that massive game. Maybe Doom Eternal that everybody's been like looking forward to, and yet game sales increased by 9% this year, and people have put that down to COVID. So yeah, Stadia is an ideal time. You know, have launched their sort of the service to consumers in terms of the Stadia Pro and Stadia 2 levels and the free trial at the perfect time, really. Exactly, you know, Disney Plus have seen the benefit of the COVID situation, so everybody, you know, anybody delivering stuff via the cloud is benefiting big time. Jerome says, I think Stadia is going to get huge. Of course it is. But don't forget, Stadia is only in 14 countries right now. That's minuscule for a global product. I think it's safe to say it's not a global product. It's in 14 countries. It's not even all the countries in Europe yet. Now, whether they're waiting for those countries to have a sort of a better infrastructure or build up the service in those countries, I don't know. There's a whole of the South America that I see people tweeting about it. In the Middle East, I see some people going, when's it coming? You know, when's it coming here? You know, it's not even Portugal. It's in Spain and France. It's not in Portugal. So 14 countries is a really small amount. So once they go a bit more global, then yeah, we'll start seeing it catching on. You know, you've got the whole, you know, South Korea, Japan, all of those things. Project Storm says, I'm proud to have been a day one founder. I am as well. All these people go, I've seen people, you know, like I showed that tweet earlier of that guy going, oh, at least I could cancel before it came. You know, people who cancelled because they read about bad press without doing their own research. I don't have any sympathy for them, really. And then there's people who say, oh, I cancelled because I heard it was rubbish, and then I regret it now because I've got numbers after my name. That's the risk you take as an early adopter. Yeah, it is like a leap of faith to a certain degree. And those founders, us founders, did take a leap of faith at the end of the day. Okay, we thought we'll spend 130 quid. And partly, I'll talk about my own experience. It was partly vanity, thinking, I want to be able to say, if Stadia is a massive success, I want to say, yeah, I was there. I jumped on. I've got my Founders controller. I've got my little stars by my name. There's something cool about that. Having been a complete flop and a complete disaster, was never going to be. Google invested too much in it, had too much faith in it. They knew Google knew the product worked. They wouldn't have released it if it hadn't achieved what they wanted to achieve in terms of specification. We know that. Google knew. They weren't messing about. They were never going to drop it. I still see those things. In that tweet conversation that I shared earlier, later on, people would spewing out that old trope about, yeah, I wonder how long Google will keep backing Stadia because they junk everything else. And I haven't got time to argue. And I went, that is Stadia's going nowhere, mate. You know, it is not disappearing. And someone goes, yeah, well, look, get your facts right because they've dropped all these other stuff. And it's like, I haven't got time to argue, mate, that what you're talking about there are applications and programs and software, which is easy to drop. Google have invested for years and years and years in the servers. That is a physical, massive infrastructure investment that they've made. The Stadia launch bit is only one small part of that overall the timeline of the project. They've been since the Chromecast has been available. They've had this concept. They've been building it. They've been building the servers to be able to deliver the content and YouTube, and specifically aiming towards gaming. And then they've spent the time getting Stadia right, and now they're building out the Stadia gaming studios to deliver content to that and acquiring properties. It's dumb, and it's a boring trope that people have about, oh, Google just dropped things. All development companies drop stuff, especially software and apps. And why not? If it's not working, it's not very good, drop it. Anyway, don't get me started. Try to not get involved in those arguments, but I can't help it sometimes. Project Storm says, I feel bad with those bad internet. Yeah, of course, Jerome. But to be honest, if you haven't got, like, say 30 megabits per second, then you're going to struggle with lots of other stuff as well. It's not just going to be Stadia, and we know that broadband connection speeds are only going to get better, faster. So you've already got an amazing base that works at the lowest point that broadband is going to be delivering as an average to people, to the consumer. It's just going to grow. And I think in the US, where there tend to be data caps, you'll see the market forces get rid of those data caps, which are just a market economy false thing that in America they put in place. Don't get it in the UK, data caps on broadband. Get them on mobile phones, but not on broadband. It's just a ridiculous thing. It should be like a tap. You either turn it on or turn it off. That's it. Shouldn't have caps on it. But I've lost my thread there, but never mind. Oh, yes. And not only that, Wi-Fi. So we already know Wi-Fi 6 is available, and Wi-Fi 6 can deliver much more data and information, albeit over short spaces, but than your standard Wi-Fi. So basically, in addition to that, can allow loads and loads and loads of other Wi-Fi devices in the house to jump on. So you're getting better delivery, data delivery from your Wi-Fi 6, and the capabilities to handle more things relying on that Wi-Fi within the house. So that's just going to improve the signal in your house and your network, so people's network. So these will become the common things. So it's all good. Jerome says data caps are rip-off. Of course they are. Of course it is. That's just the very American sort of market-driven thing, made-up thing. Most countries, I think, or certainly in the UK, it's sort of a nonsense of a data cap. Liam Partner says, I get 300 down and 53 up. Exactly. I'm on 50 megabits per second, right? I should up to 70 megabits per second, and then I think 18 down, or that, or the other way around, 18 up. I don't know what it is. 18 up and 50 to 70 down. Which, because I'm not fiber to door, I'm fiber to cabinet, and then a copper wire from the cabinet here, because I live in a small village. So there's no problem. That's not going to be improved in a long time, unless I know they're working on technology which can improve the delivery down a copper wire, which may be the option, or whether they start sticking 5G and relying on that as a delivery of broadband. I don't know. But the point is, that is plenty. It allows me to play Stadia in 4K. It also allows me to play Stadia and stream Stadia to YouTube. It allows me to also, when I'm streaming, what's usually happening is my daughter is playing Minecraft on the Xbox One X. My son is playing Overwatch on the Xbox One S. I'm playing Stadia and I'm streaming Stadia. And it still does it all fine, because I'm mostly hardwired. All the Xboxes are hardwired into the broadband, My Chrome, obviously my tower computer is hardwired into the broadband, so I'm not relying on Wi-Fi, and it works. It works an absolute treat, my friends. It works an absolute treat. Anyway, Jerome says you've nicked the nail on the head. All these haters, etc., have probably got bad internet, but connection speeds will get better. Yeah, but you see people with amazing internet. Oh, I've got 200 gig, but it's stuttering. It's can anybody help? And I'm afraid I lack patience with a lot of people. I'm not very good. I read a lot of the Facebook groups on Stadia. And hey, look, I'm a Generation Xer, but sometimes I look at some of the things posted on the Facebook pages, on the various Stadia groups on Facebook, and I just think, oh my God, okay, boomer. I saw one post here, which I just found quite amusing, and someone said, hey, I've tried Stadia, it's really good. Do you know what would be good? Is if you could download the games so you could play them offline. That's called a console or a computer, my dear. So I don't always have patience with these various Stadia groups on Facebook, because they do seem, and I'm a bit snobbish about it, but they do seem to be a bit behind the curve on understanding the tech. And they might have Stadia and they love it and it works, but yeah, a lot of people get Stadia, for some reason seem to go to these Stadia groups and ask what I would consider to be dumb questions. Me being a bit disrespectful and a bit snobbish about people who don't understand how Stadia works. And maybe more understanding people would go hand them a nice little infographic on how you can improve, as has been published by many Stadia creator contents, how you can improve the network in your house to get a better Stadia experience. But there is plenty of people who I still see saying, oh, I'm getting lags or getting stutter, and they get 200 megabits per second, and I just for me that frustrates me, because I'm thinking there is no way you should be having this problem. And so the problem is you, it's not Stadia, which is often what I write on these Facebook pages. Usually you get a statement going, hey, anybody having a problem with lag and stuttering on Stadia? No. Oh, the Stadia, I don't know, Google's got all this money. Why can't they get Stadia to work? Not Stadia. It's you. Anyway, there we go. Darth Adder says, yeah, 60 down, less than 10 up. Yeah, no competition here. Darth Adder says, let's hope Starlink works great with Stadia. I'm also in a village. Fastest option I have is 60 down, 10 up. Yeah, but it worked, I'm confident it will. It's aimed at low latency applications. Yeah, exactly. Liam Parameter. Damn. Love Stadia. Thank you, Chris Torres there. Love Stadia. Stadia fine for me. Yeah, I'm in some. A lot of people don't get it. Yeah, and I should have more patience with people, but I'm afraid it's the bad and negative side of my character is sometimes I lack patience with dumb questions. And they're only dumb questions if you're lucky enough to know the answer. So I know it is it's a character fault in me, and I have to be a bit more understanding. But there are some dumb people around. If Stadia goes offline, I'll play GeForce Now, Shadow PC on my console, so it really doesn't bother me. Goes down for an extended time, I can easily see Google giving us something for free. Exactly. I can't see, it's Google. Google's gone down. Gmail went down once, very briefly. But that's the beauty of having a massive internet infrastructure like backed by Google, is that if there's problems, it's their whole business. They'll fix it pretty quickly, faster than say like Virgin in the UK. Virgin broadband has gone down, I think, twice during COVID, and it's caused loads and loads of people because everybody's got Zoom meetings they need to attend to. Resurrected said Google should provide info for people who don't understand internet and networking, because it can be very daunting. You're right. You're right. And in fairness, the first time I connected my controller, so the Chromecast Ultra and the controller, I did have certain trepidation because I've got BT Home Hub, And I know that BT Home Hub can be a bit funny with Chromecast sometimes, but I was prepared to give it a couple of goes, which I did as it turned out. So in fairness, once it was done, and I never looked back. So I think you're right. I think they should, and I think they do when you sign up, give you a link. But maybe they should just sort of emphasize that and just really push the idea that, look, give Stadia a real chance. If you're signing up to Stadia, give it a real chance. These are the key things. So a lot of people who are too far away from their hub, they're playing on Wi-Fi. Not a good idea. They're too far away from their hub, their Wi-Fi hub, so they're getting it at 2.4 gigahertz. Not a good idea. It's simple things like that. When I play on my TV, I'm literally behind the wall in which my hub is, which is 5. So I'm getting full 5 gigahertz here, but my Chromecast is all hardwired into the broadband, so that's all good. And even sitting here, I'm not that far away, to be honest. I live in a small house, so the impact that I'm with BT, yeah, it's fine. BT absolutely fine, and BT are rolling out near gigabit speed as well to consumers. I saw a YouTube video about it recently. If you're lucky enough to have fiber to the door, so it's worth investing in that. Right, I've warbled on enough today. I hope everybody in the chat has had a good time. Remember, hit that like. I see we've got 28 people here. I hope you don't mind me warbling on like that, a bit loose, but I guess that's the way I roll once I get onto these things. I'd say most people haven't got a clue other than turning their router on and off. Networking is a real minefield. It is. And it's understanding the concept of 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz and and all these things, and you've got so many other Wi-Fi networks. My printer has its own Wi-Fi network. The Google Homes and all that have their own Wi-Fi networks, and so you've got all these competing Wi-Fi My neighbours, depending where you're in the house, you pick up your neighbour's Wi-Fi network, so it can be confusing. And I take it all for granted that I kind of can work my way around it through experience. And you're quite right. Stadia wants to make this mass appeal. They need to make the process as easy and clear as possible, and share that information. And it's up to us to sort of help people out. Jerome says, for first being in the gaming business, controllers are fantastic. So many variables in networking. Absolutely, Resurrector. Cheers all, stay safe, and thanks, Clive. Exactly. Only issue with OpenReach if it's asymmetrical when all others are symmetrical. Random Noob, you're always coming out with the tech stuff there. Fiber to home is it's asymmetrical when all the others are symmetrical. Okay, I'm going to have to look that up now, Random Noob. Keep doing the testing, Random Noob. If you have an Xbox, you should test the latency of Doom Eternal on Xbox One X if you have one, just to see whether that's improved as well, or whether it's just the Stadia improvement of Doom Eternal. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Next week, as I say, if you have any ideas, then just put it in the chat or in Twitter to me about memberships and what you'd like to see. When I roll out the YouTube memberships for this channel. I want a massive thank you to everybody who came along today. Thank you. It makes it all worth me just rattling up. Otherwise, I'd just be shouting into the wind, which I probably would anyway, like King Lear, shouting at the wind. But it's good that I'm shouting with a group of people who sort of like-minded and come and enjoy the chat. It's really appreciated. So thank you for that. Don't forget to hit like. If you're brand new here, hey, hit subscribe. That'd be even better. And I will see you next week. I will reveal more about the channel memberships and what that entails when I've had a good think about it. I'll reveal more about the sponsor and a discount for all of you as well, that sponsor is offering to you as well. So until then, once again, thank you for being here. As ever, it's always a pleasure to be here. I really appreciate everybody's been here. Take care, look after yourself, look after your loved ones, and I will see you next week. And don't forget, tomorrow Generation X Retro Gaming Club. New logo reveal. Generation X Retro Gaming Club. When we're talking all things old school gaming with The Rock tomorrow on the Generation X Retro Gaming Club. If you've not seen it, it's a lot of fun. And Rock and I have a lot of fun. And hopefully the audience who watches it has a lot of fun. On that note, thank you and goodbye.